Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman, for allowing me to waive onto the subcommittee to discuss critical issues to my home state of Arizona. Administrator Criswell, when you were before this subcommittee last September, I raised concerns with the implementation of FEMA Shelter and Services Program, or SSP. As you know, Congress designed the SSP program to reimburse local governments and nonprofits that provide essential services to migrants after processed by Border Patrol. But inexplicably, FEMA hasn't prioritized border communities while allocating this funding. The Southern Arizona Coalition, a network of local governments and nonprofits, was only eligible to apply for a total of $12 million under this program, a fraction of the total funds available, while New York received 10 times that. It makes no sense. Arizona is on the front lines of the border crisis. In just the first 4 months of this fiscal year, Border Patrol in the Tucson sector apprehended more than 250,000 migrants, the highest number on record, and now Arizona nonprofits are about to run out of their tiny slice of funding. Last month, I visited Casa Alitas, a nonprofit in Tucson that works with federal law enforcement to support asylum seekers and prevent street releases. They do incredible work, taking in as many as 1,000 migrants a day and providing casework services that help asylum seekers find sponsors, reducing the flow of people seeking services from interior locations like New York. But without additional federal funding, they'll be forced to close their doors. A Pima County executive described what they're about to experience as, quote, homeless on steroids, unquote. I've been calling on House leadership for months to pass additional funds for this program. Mr. Chairman, I ask for unanimous consent to add a letter from the Arizona Border Counties Coalition requesting additional SSP funding to the record. Administrator Criswell, if and when Congress does appropriate additional funding for SSP, does FEMA have a plan to adjust the allocation formula to better prioritize border communities?
Congressman, we recognize the incredible amount of value that the SSP program has brought to our border communities. And in the first iteration of that, because of the limitation on time, we did determine to do a direct allocation based on some previous requests. If appropriated by Congress, our plan is to go forward with a competitive program so we can take in current data and current needs within different communities to help determine the appropriate amount to go to each of the different jurisdictions.
Okay, I appreciate you saying that, although I think Arizona has dealt with the disproportionate burden and should be in front of the line, if you will, for the next round of funding when Congress does pass additional SSP support. I want to switch gears now to the ongoing effort of the city of Maricopa to develop a regional flood control solution to address flooding in the lower Santa Cruz River. In December 21, the city submitted a conditional letter of map revision, a CLOMAR, for its flood channelization project. At the time, FEMA estimated that it would be completed within 12 months. That was 26 months ago. CLOMAR is still pending with FEMA. I am extraordinarily frustrated that the significant delay in advancing this project is causing harm to the community. So is the city of Maricopa. As every day goes by, the city remains vulnerable to flooding. Last week, the city met FEMA representatives here in Washington and with Region 9, and I understand they committed to reducing the response time to 45 days and adding consultations to the city to improve communication. I further understand that FEMA acknowledged that delays on the agency's behalf in 2022 contributed to the current situation and indicated the CLOMAR should be completed by the end of July this year. The city values its partnership with FEMA, understands that this is a complicated issue, but it is important to note that an estimated $1 billion in property tax revenue and $50 million in flood control solution cannot be realized until this CLOMAR is completed. Administrator Criswell, can you provide me assurance here today that this CLOMAR will be completed within this recently agreed to time plan?
Congressman, I know that our teams have been working with your staff as well as the city of Maricopa. I am committed to making sure that we can continue this on time, that we can complete it on time. If we run into any roadblocks with that, I'll be certain to reach out with you so I can have the conversation with you personally.
I appreciate you doing that. Lack of communication has been a significant issue. The delay has been a significant issue, and it is a project not just important to the city of Maricopa, but really the entire Maricopa County, because flooding in that area would be devastating. I appreciate your leadership in getting this done.